guys, Evolve Mentally here, back with another one. So, I got, um, I gotta figure out how I want to word this, but I'm on another server that's been merged. I quit the server a long time ago. It never got jacks on it, so I ended up quitting like 3-4 weeks in. Back in the day, this server is from a long time ago. I've never migrated servers, so it's 1250 actually, which is a long time ago. And that's actually kind of funny because there's this guy Shinigami that says that this is still his main server and he's still king and da 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 da, etc., etc., etc. He doesn't even exist on the server anymore. His house doesn't even exist anymore on the server. He's a nobody. Um, but he tells everybody this is his main server. He was king on it for a long time. It's funny because I thought this was a different number on the server, but this is actually the server that I was talking about where he betrays everybody. So he first betrays Neferak. At the time, some of these guys are still here too, which is crazy. See these dudes with like that guy there, um, and the guys with the snowflakes in their names. They were the original enemies on that server, and basically Neferak at the time um, had to hold them off. I'm not gonna say who I was in the server because then like it'll just create spite and animosities. But basically, I ruled Neferak. I was number one player on the server. I was champion of Noah the first run around. I was almost champion of Noah the second run around. I dominated the server PvP style. I beat everybody to his teeth then. Shinigami was not even a challenge on the server. The only challenge on the server was Athlete. And then I was a challenge in Neferak. So it was our war, and then pretty much what Orange, who we were allied with, and Green, who was Shinigami, and SK was in Dumbwolf. Their jobs were to snuff out Skarn at the time, who was nobody. There was nobody there, and snuff out Purple at the time. Instead, what they ended up doing was they let us get crushed kind of by Athelay because we didn't have the members like the Chinese did. So as we were crushing the Purple and crushing Skarn, they were all flooding into Athelay and joining them, making them the strongest kingdom. And then meanwhile, Shinigami and SK were actually recruiting my people and stealing our players, making our kingdom weaker. So their plan all along was to destroy us and let the war in the East be the reason why they thrived in the West. And it was cool because the server didn't last long after that, because after they took us out, they started taking them out periodically too. And granted, at the time, I was only like 40, 50k under the top player. I could have kept competing, but we were losing member bases. So, and I kind of freaked out too. I don't remember fully, but I didn't get Jax, which is a big reason why I was losing a lot of these fights. Because back in the day, Jax was still a huge role. We didn't have sets yet. Sets didn't come out. This wasn't a concept. You still had to wait. We didn't even have hero chest yet, actually, at that time. You had to wait for your heroes to come via this. And that's why none of my heroes, even though this has tier 12, none of my heroes have absolutely broken items. None of them have, like, crazy good items because none of them got any decent rolls or anything like that because there was no decent rolls to get. Um, this is all the garbage I've earned in game. So this is going way back. This is over a year ago. I'm trying to get the account. Um, I'm not gonna say, but I don't want to get reported, so I'm trying to get the account back. The original account, because that has server 49 on it, which is the first server that I've ever played on. That was the first server that I ever took serious, was 49. I quickly found out I was like 2-3 weeks behind on that server, and started again on 52, I think it was. And that's the other thing. Back then, they didn't drop 3 servers at once. Back then they dropped 1 server at a time. And the cool thing about my friend not using this account that I gave him, like I said, I just don't want to get reported. People are really scummy and they hate on you for no reason, so they'll just report you to report you. People are really dirty. And this is all for educational purposes. So you're just being rude. You're just being a dick. But point being is he doesn't play this anymore. He actually quit too. He didn't even play. So because I think it was 300k at the time. So since he didn't even play on it, it's just been dead. So I changed the name because I don't think he'll care to evolve mentally. And any of the accounts that I jump on that aren't being played, I will. But I'm trying to find the original one because the original one was before even tier came out. I mean, this was so old that this didn't even exist. So I'm curious to see kind of what was spent on that account, because I did spend on it, but I don't know how much because we didn't have a concept like that back then. And I mean, that was old school, old school. That was back when all you had was patron and shop. And you didn't have hero chests, you only had these. And I mean, it was really old school. That was like way back in the day. I wish I could find that. That was cool. That was before events. That was before any of this. None of this were concepts. It was all about fighting for the land back then. It was harder to fight for the land. It made it all about who gets the cities, who controls. It was more involved too. You couldn't do this. You couldn't scatter around the map because the player base was so high that you had to take um, cities and lands closer to your capital to make sure you'd be able to guard them in the long term. Still kind of a strategy today, but basically what this video is going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about the strategies when you start off in yellow, and I figured I'd use accounts that have already gone through the migration period or the server merge period to do so. I figure there's no better way to show you kind of strategically what cities you want to go for in yellow first. So you get to the capital. We come from up north here. You get to the capital. Now the first city you want to get, if you're the first one to drop in Neferak and you're early on, is you want to try to get to Nightspear. That's the first city you really want to capture. I stand corrected. You want to take over a kingdom. So you got to establish what it is you want to do. If you're here to make a big house and thrive and have the succeeding house on the server or on your kingdom, then you actually want to take Dunkirk first and Sundermerk first. The reason being is those are your recruitment cities in a new server. Um, we're going to cover recruiting too. Actually, we're going to create a house for this purpose. The cool thing is my house might even still exist. If it's under the name that I think it's under, I'm not going to show it. Thing is this might have gone through a few merges because it's over a year ago. Yeah, I'm not going to waste time on this. It's over a year ago, so it might have gone through a few merges, but point is Shinonami's not still on the server yet. He keeps telling everybody that this is his main server, 1250. It's not. You got crushed and snuffed out by the Chinese like we did, and you didn't even fight them. At least I fought them. He's been playing Racken since back then too. So like I said, you're going to want to get Dunkirk first. You want to get this city. It's going to be your first city closest to the capital, so it's going to make it easy to recruit immediately, and that's what you want. You want to be able to start recruiting people almost ASAP. Now, if this was a new server and people could start on it, there'd be people swarming around the capital with new player signs above their head, and you can invite people to a house if you click them as an option to do so. I'm assuming I'm not going to find anybody. I think this is legit a dead server because the players have all really reached max packs. So I'm really assuming that the server's wholeheartedly fucking dead. I guess not, because these kids are still PvPing, but the top players, I'm going to say, are... Maybe not, I don't know. I'm making predictions on something, I don't know. But yeah, basically you want to do that. You're going to want to get that Dunkirk first. My dragons are going to be in... My bosses are going to be in different places due to the fact that I didn't start off in this kingdom, maybe. Or I just migrated, I have no clue. I have no clue. Then you want to get Cindermark. So these are the two cities that you want to get for recruiting because they're going to fill up the fastest. They're going to help you get players the fastest. Yeah, so see how I can click on him? Ordinarily, I'd be able to click on him and then hit this, and it would invite him if he wasn't in the house already. Then the house that you want to get, Neferak, okay? So make sure you can compete in that early game, get those early cities, and compete in the power event and things like that, is Nightspear. Because the Nightspear is the first city that you're going to get in Neferak that has an army cap bonus, and that's what you're going to need. So you want to get those 3 cities early on because the building and the research bonus early on doesn't really make that big of a difference. You free rush most of it. Obviously, you're going to take Land's End. So what starts happening is once you get Dunkirk, Sundermark, and Nightspear, start doing your branch cities. I would actually recommend leaving Land's End for someone else, some other random house or someone who's in your group that can, if you have a decent sized group, 4 or 5 people or more, you can each make an alternate account. You can actually take over this whole peninsula, which is what your goal really is. But if you don't, if it's just you, you can make an alt. You can take Sundermark and Dunkirk, or you need at least one buddy though. But yeah, you can take Sundermark and Dunkirk and then try to attempt to take Nightspear somehow by having someone loyal to you take it that you've met, whatever the case may be. Moving on, you're going to want to move north, take Drago. Actually, again, I would leave Drago though for another person, unless you have the teammates to take him. I would leave Land's End and Drago for other people. Keep moving forward. Next is Talon. So this is where I would start taking cities again. This is where you should start taking cities with your houses again, whether it be with alternate accounts. If you're by yourself, you're gonna have a hard time doing this. You may have to wait till Swanshire or Dolphin Bay to start taking cities again. But if you have a team, this is where you would want to take the next city. So again, you'd leave Drago and Land's End, take Talon because it's more north, and I'd say take Ember Mall. Now, with the way the servers are going nowadays, the activity is way lower, so the chances are a lot of these cities won't even be cleared yet because the servers are just, they're going slower. You're going to want to take Gravewind. You're going to want to take Warham. So these are the bordering cities. Now the reason you're taking these is for honor earning. So what you want to do is you want to take cities closer to the border. That way when people go to attack you, you can earn easy honor just sitting there farming honor off of people attacking your cities. So Warham, Gravewind. So again, I wouldn't even do Talon and Ember Mall. I would do Gravewind and Warham. So you're going to want to start off Doomkirk, Cindermark, Nightspear, Gravewind, Warham. And then obviously Swanshire or Dolphin Bay. Now, this is where it gets complicated though, because if you don't have a team, you're not going to be able to take all of these and then be able to get the medium cities too and be tearing your house at the same time. So this is where it comes to knowing how to still run a house or run a city without being in it, and it's by putting guard towers down inside these cities to hold down the cities for you. The house is still going to tier. There's still going to be active players in it. You leave one active leader. So you take these cities. We're going to try and do this in a pretty cool fashion. Yeah, alright, so basically this is what you're going to take first. This is priorities. Everything that you see currently unveiled is what you're going to take for priorities. Next, now you would think that you would go to Fawnville and Ethos for the next two small cities. You won't. Before you go and capture Ethos or Fawnville, you should wait, see how low Davos is in Elfgate, because that's what's really going to control whether or not you can push this way or you push this way. I've always liked with Neferak to not try to take the Eastern Peninsula, to let Athlete actually take up here. And I'll tell you why in a bit. And I actually like to push more towards purple because they're centered on the map. So I actually like to push here, take Rakeen, Cleopolis, Jorville, Himmelham. I like to actually go up this way and take that side rather than push this and take this. But that's just me because you only need 25 cities. Pushing over 25 cities with the low activity rates is kind of hard now anyways. So yeah, after I got all of these cities under control, whether it be me or people who I'm playing just met, people who are in the same kingdom as me, this is going to be a longer video. I should have spent so much time talking about it in the beginning. I should have just done what the concept was. I might edit this and yeah, I might edit it. Edited it. Alright, so next up is Crow and Moon Garden. That's what you're going to want to also take. I think these are really important cities. Now, the great thing about these two cities is now the only people who really have access to them are Athlete. Purple will, but they won't. Not till like 13 or 14, something like that. Or 10 maybe, it might even be 10. But point is, you want to get these not right away, actually. You don't want to prioritize these. Maybe start weakening them, but because nobody else is going to actually go for them, you do want to start pushing Fawnville and Ethos. So I'm kind of wrong, actually, and I'm sorry for that. And you want to start preparing for over here. Huro, Rakeen. I should pause when I'm running from place to place. That way it's not taking so long in the video. I'll totally do that too. So yeah, you want to go Huro, you want to go Rakeen. I'm not going to pause it actually, you know why? Because it's the whole point in the video. It's going to be long. It'll probably be 25 minutes. I'll probably just do the beginning of Neferak. That's it. So yeah, this would be a good start in Neferak. You want to push here. You're then going to want to take Fawnville. You're going to want to take Ethos if you can. Those are guaranteed you want to take. It's just whether or not you want to take them earlier than later, and whether or not you want to try to push through Davos into the east. And like I said, that's a choice. It's a personal choice. I personally would rather get Coven, Hearthbrid. So I'm going to reveal what I think. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna pause it now. I'm gonna reveal a bunch of areas that I think would be is a good Neferak. Okay, guys, we're back. So this is what I think a comfortable Neferak looks like. This will be your border. A lot of people are probably saying, well, not Brightworth. Brightworth's still an option, so if you feel like you can extend that, that's good. But this would be like my bare minimum. This would be my strategy too. Yours may change. So if you count them up, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, whoop, 18. Now I'm getting kind of fucked up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Um, the way I counted this the first time was way easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There should be 25 though, that's why it's not making sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, 25. So that's 25 cities. If you were to push purple, and it's like I said, it's a comfortable kingdom right here. That wouldn't be a bad little plot of land. The 25 obviously giving you the maximum amount that you can have of positions. Being high print at 25. So you want to have at least 25 cities in a kingdom. Make sure you guys are getting as much out of your kingdom as possible for everybody. Now, the only other cities I would say that you could push on top of this, in addition to the 25, I wouldn't push Ganesh because you don't need it for 25. This is more comfortable. Even taking Ashenwald instead of Hamelhelm would be more comfortable, but I would rather have the big cities here. You want to stomp out purple. Two colors have to get stomped out. That's kind of my rule on a server. Like, there's two colors that I'm always kind of planning to kill from the beginning of a server. And Brightworth. So if you wanted to actually go this way instead of going this way, you could not get Himmel, not get Jorviller, maybe even not get Cleo, which would take 3 off your 25, which would open up Brightworth, Davos, and Elfkeep for you could take. But then you would want to take Kraken and Gothar. So you could go either way with it, obviously, but this would be my comfortable yellow. I wouldn't want to reach past this. I know a lot of people will get wicked ambitious and they're like, oh, we'll take all the giant cities, and that's fine too. You can do that. I've never been like that. I wouldn't stop my kingdom from doing it or my house, but I would never promote it. I wouldn't lead those charges because it's just not something I do. I get to my comfortable point and then I'm happy, and then we should start stocking up. And that's something that I think people need to learn about their kingdom too. And that's part of this advice in this video is when you first start out and you're loading, Sundermark up in Dunkirk, you want to make sure you get someone who knows to put the guard towers in every 48 hours. Every 48 hours, put in the governor guard tower skill, the one that you get just for being a governor. And then in those first few days, you don't have all of these. So by the time you get those, where you start getting all of your towers, you're going to start getting these cities, Moon Garden, like Coven, things like that. And what I recommend is let the Governor Guard Towers stockpile these for the beginning of the game because people can't even get to those yet. And take your guard towers that you're getting from the royalties and stuff and start stockpiling these cities up here with them. And the faster you get them merged into the bigger houses, the better. So you can not waste towers by dismantling a city and then rebuilding it in a new house or recapturing it in a new house. So yeah, that's my comfortable yellow. I'm not going to do the rest of the map for you. I don't see the point. That's all I was trying to discuss was basically what you want to do and how you want to do it. So again, you want to take over all of these cities down here in the south. The most important ones are Dunkirk and Sundermark being your recruitment cities. Knightspear because it's your first army cap city for the first power event. You could get Moongarden if you're a high enough pay-to-play player, which would be your better army cap city. But like I said, Knightspear is a guaranteed one. So yeah, take those 3 cities, and then you're going to want to start taking Gravewind and Warham, because those are the bordering cities. Swanshire, Dolphin Bay, bordering cities are going to take more damage. You're going to get hit more. Your wall's going to get hit. You're going to get more honor. Then, again, Moongarden and Kerr you don't have to worry about because they're in your backlines. Most people won't go for those. They won't try to steal them from you, so you could leave them full and start working down some of these bordering cities. I would recommend Rakeen. Rakeen's a pivotal point. If you get Rakeen, they probably won't push for Huro. I would recommend doing Coven. even though it's a harder one to do early, or Hearthbird. Any of these, really, just start working them down. Try to take those, or you could just do your guaranteed cities in the back too. So it's up to you kind of how you want to play it. I usually focus my outlines first, and then I move inward. Because people, this is early game. This is stupid. This will get you destroyed early game, having a city in somebody else's land. So, but yeah, guys, that's it. It's another evolved mental moment. That is actually how you should conquer Neferak. And now I'm gonna